we have got a very renowned, eminent person from my industry who has kindly consented to speak on today's say inaugural session. And I would like to first of all introduce him. We have Mr. Kapilesh. He's Assistant Vice President, Learning and Development, Global at RSPL Limited. His areas are managing learning function and companies, Ghadi detergent, Expert dishwash, Venus soap, Redshift, shoes, Namaste India, dairy products. So wide range of products, whichever the RSPL is having taken care of. He is serving the learning and development needs of the people at RSPL. And we can understand the level at which RSPL Group is operating. It is more than 58,000 crores company, and the way it has positioned itself, it talks volumes about the way they are managing their people. And Mr. Kapilesh is a key person in managing people affairs and especially learning and development of RSPL. He has a lot of certification for himself from Hero, Mindbuying, KPMG Group, even I'm Ahmedabad, and he has been trainer at automobile, IT, defense, FMCG, FMCD industry, and also for management colleges. Sir, this is very little about you that I'm speaking because you don't want much to elaborate on your testimonies and your expertise. So, well, now I request you to please switch on your camera and your microphone so that we can hear you. We welcome you, sir. Please take over.
Thank you, Dr. Monica. My camera is on and my mic is also on. In case there is any issue, someone can type on the chat box.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm audible, Dr. Monica?
Yeah. You are audible.
Okay, good. First of all,
welcome,
thank you, Dr. First of all, I would like to really thank you for coming to this kind of an august audience. It's really my pleasure and privilege to be here. And in the morning when I was talking to Dr. Monica, I said, yes, I don't teach students or something, but yes, I do take your students I have people working from PSIT, Gaudhari Singhania. I've had associations with Gaudhari Singhania in the past as well, where people come from internship, and I've gone there to give one lecture also how to build a career in the corporate world. So please pardon me, I'll be talking more about the corporate only. So I'll just start. What I wanted to talk about, when I saw this EFDP coming is what exactly happened on, the day this thing happened, that COVID and lockdown. What things we went through in the L&D department of a company. So we have to train 20,000 people. Now, the first thing which we thought for the first 7 days after the lockdown is that ye to abhi chutti hai, apne aap ko develop karo. Like, as such, we keep on reading and all that, so might as well read more. But then the truth dawned on us that what are we dealing here? You see, I'll give you a very simple figure. We train about 8,000 people in the entire year, after the appraisals and all that. In this entire lockdown, we have touched 2,000 up till now. And you can just do your mathematics. Where will we reach? A time will come, we may not have employees to train. That's the speed that we are going. So that's the first thing we realized, that what are we dealing with here? So we did a little reality check on our own selves first. And we realized that we are dealing with, first of all, two very basic things. One is we are dealing with three kinds of people. Because it was a fait accompli. It just happened, unplanned, right? We are dealing with three kinds of people whom we call in the corporate world as digital natives, digital migrants, and digital exile. I don't know, do I need to elaborate that? Digital natives are the people who are born in the digital age. Digital migrants are people like you and me, possibly, who migrated from an age towards digital now that we are digital. And digital exile are those people who hate digital. Humse nahi hoga types, those are the kind of people. That's one thing we were dealing with. Second thing we were dealing with over here was, in terms of an L&D parlance, or rather, from that perspective, we saw that it is not learning which is our priority right now. It is actually unlearning. Because we were we are dealing with an audience which is still thinking that this thing will be over someday, lockdown will be over, and we will go to our offices and work in the same fashion, which is not going to happen. This is not the, you people, some of you people are of quite, a lot of age, so they might remember the Ayodhya, the Mandal Commission, and all those days when there were long, curfews and all that, but things did go to normal. So that is one thing we're dealing with, the new normal, not the normal. Second thing we were dealing was with the methodologies, not with learning. Learning is still the same. There is no change. But how do you make it interactive? How do you reach? How do you have these, small glitches that you've had in the last 20 minutes now also? You've had glitches with people leaving, people joining, somebody's camera, somebody's mic, things like that. So the methodologies also, how do we keep interactive sessions going on? And then, we realize also, how do we keep it relevant to the scenario that we're dealing with? You see, I can always do a normal training program and keep it relevant to tomorrow because I know what will happen tomorrow. I think somebody's typing something. Let me just see. Okay. So I am dealing with people whom I'm supposed to give relevance for tomorrow, and I don't know what will happen tomorrow. So that was a big question. So later on, we started, immediately, we became agile. I said, first of all, let the world disrupt us. Let's disrupt ourselves first. First and foremost thing we started doing was we started the training programs. They say that when is the best time to start? It's always now. Okay, so when we just decided in 7 days time that we will start everything. So a few things we learned. That's the second point from my, what I'm talking about. Here is that how do you make it more interactive? And I think Dr. Monica told that these are also some of the methodologies that you are looking at. Let me just share with you what I have used up till now. We have used a website called Direct Poll, directpoll.com. I'll just type it. This is similar to Survey Monkeys and all, where you can do a survey. What we do is we send a question to a person, to the audience, and the link is sent on the chat box. And there are tokens which go along with that. And people can take a token, type in their answer, and you have the online, the results coming. So that result can be presented on your screen. So it's very interactive. People are just waiting for the, for the results to go up. Like there are 15 participants, but 10 have responded. So 5 more to go, 5 more to go. So there is a charm. And that is what we've started using. And in case you're doing it on Skype, there's always a poll. On the right side only, there is a poll. You can always create a poll and convert your questions into polls only. And that also makes it very interesting. Second thing which we saw that, we had to break our own paradigms. Like we can't do activities. Well, we can. I'll give an example. In a recent program on Red Chief Shoes, I told the participants to take a piece of paper and show it on the camera. They showed it on the camera. And then I said, now tear it into as many pieces as you can. And they tore it. And then, and I said, no, I only wanted 10. So they said, but you told me as many as you can. So we did as many as I can. I said, so I should have been more specific. And that's when they understood that we are talking about specific communication. So there are activities, there are reflections that can be done. Now I'm talking from a trainer world, and a trainer world is more to do with David Kolb's theory of learning rather than a teaching world. So this is training world. Okay, this EFDP has just begun. So if I type this EFDP is and I type dash program. This EFDP is a dash program. Can you fill in the dash right now? It's all up to you. Fatafat. This EFDP is a dash program. You can select any good word for it. Fill in the blanks as fast as possible. Learning program. Wow. Learning and development program. So you're filling in the dash. Productive one. Wow. Okay. So learning again. Interesting program. Very good. Naveenji says. And then we have more innovative program. Yes. Brainstorming. Effective. productive, emote, insightful, experiential learning. Now you saw that, my idea was not to know how this program is. My idea was to just make it more interactive. It's not about me speaking, it's about you interacting. And that is going to be very, very critical in an audience whom you're dealing with in the digital, space. There are times when when we have talked to, there's an audience in front of us and we take the name of somebody and we realize that somebody is not there only. He's just logged in, that's it. His mic is off, his video is off, he is happily just marking his attendance. So that is when, you come to know all these things. So this was another methodology that we evolved. Another methodology is obviously storytelling. I saw that it's there in your EFTP. Small stories, scenario building, case studies, something like that. It's all learner centric, we also did certain things like we are doing a training program on objection handling, and for that one day before, participants first prepare for it. They come with a list, so there is no because their level is like that. There is no random thinking, they don't need to articulate any word there and then in the limited time that we have. So they're already ready with this question. So that is another methodology that and they're just charged. They need to be listened to. They need to be heard. Their challenges need to be solved. That's another thing that we adopted. Of course, we are creating videos, which is very unique to create very easy to create in today's world. We are taking slides, mixing them with video. You can type on YouTube NCS. If you type on YouTube NCS, you get non-copyright sound, and you can always put that. You'll never get any, claim on you for copyright violations also, because it's freely available, non-copyright sound. And then, in PowerPoint, you can embed that music, and then that PowerPoint. In one of my latest LinkedIn posts, I put it, making the familiar strange and the strange familiar. And these are the times we are going to. So nothing in our department is snubbed at all. Any idea that comes, anything that a person says, even a kid, who's just passed out from MBA has joined us. Even if that person says, we allow them to say, because you don't know what kind of world, what kind of things will later on connect and build. And one of the biggest things that we are building today is the imagination. I don't know how many people are aware of David Kolb's theory on the learning from the past, the experience, the reflection, the conceptualization, and the application of learning. So David Kolb is the most accepted 1984 theory on learning of adults. But of late, there is this word called pre-sensing, learning from the future. So it's not always learning from the past, you also learn from the future. And that is what we are trying to create here. If you want to learn from the future, you need to create future scenarios. Not what I told you so. No, from that, if this happens, then what happens? Or this is going to happen, supposing. So what? So you're building learning from the future scenarios. In fact, there's a book on it by Otto Scharmer called Pre-Sense. You can read it and learn more about it also. And I'll give an example. If I was a teacher of your students, MBA students, which I won't be, I'm not qualified for that. But if I was, I would have asked them, what is your future self? Write me an essay or write me a small one paragraph on your future job, whatever you have thought to be, talking to this MBA student who is current. Let that imagination go wild. I can tell you the wildest imagination possible right now I can do with you. I'll tell you to take a piece of paper and pen or pencil and draw an alien animal from another planet that has no resemblance to any animal on this earth. And then, even with the most imaginative mind sitting here, you'll have a tough time drawing it. Trust me, if you start drawing it also, after some time, you will come something near to the earthly, animal only. That is bound to happen. That's where you put stress on your neurons to even think of something which is unthinkable. And once you have gone on that territory, you will never come back. That's where imagination has already built your brain. So we need to keep the curiosity alive of everyone. That is what is something which we keep doing, because this is the generation which is the instant gratification generation. So we keep the curiosity alive. We keep them to the next level. These are the people who watch seasons on Netflix because the first season, something happened and now they're waiting for the next season, and then they're waiting for the next season. These are the people who go into the next levels of video games. Why not on our learning? That is why there is one more important thing. I don't know whether people from the academia will support it, but we are doing it. And we're cutting across all the formalities. Like initially, all the, hello, sir, good morning, sir, all that is over now. That used to happen in our classroom trainings, but it doesn't happen in our virtual trainings. If at all somebody has to say hello and all that, it's okay. It's just a good morning or something on the chat box. But imagine, when you have 50, 60 people and everybody says hello and everybody has to respond. So that is another thing that we have added. And I would just like to, finish whatever I was saying by just one thing which I learned in one of the L&D conferences. And I think the time has come for that. The person was telling that there is something called a 5A of learning, 5A of learning. And the person said 5A, wait, I'll just write it also. 5A of learning, he says that, in times to come, anybody can learn. That's the first A. Anybody can learn. So anybody can learn anything. I mean, like in today's days, you have Udemy and you have Coursera. I'm learning about artificial intelligence. I'm learning about machine learning. I'm learning about the brain. I'm learning neuroscience, and this got nothing to do with my current job. Anybody can learn anything. So anything is the second A. And the third A, he said, was anybody can learn anything anywhere. So that is also interesting. I mean, just imagine our backgrounds. We've got curtains of our bedrooms and we are learning. I hope mera thoda saaf ho, neat ho, because I'm in a guest room of the company. And just imagine, so anybody can learn anything, anywhere, anytime. So that's the fourth A, he said. Anytime you can pick up night, and especially there are people, as you said, international over there. The types of webinars that I attend from US or UK even gives me sleep problems, because there, you have to wake up in the night to attend their webinar, and or they have to otherwise also. And the fifth A, which he said, was that any device. So anybody can learn anything, anywhere, anytime, on any device. That person was telling that a day will come. And today, when I look back, I think the day has come. Today, anybody can learn anything, anywhere, anytime, in any device. And that is what I wanted to end my so-called, whatever Dr. Monica gave me time to speak about. I'm comfortable with questions in case somebody wants to ask.
Yeah. So nice. So well said, sir. You have explained so well. Now I think we have such an experienced person with us. Those who want to know something more about what he is doing or how he's doing, the challenges that he's facing, you can please come up on chat box, or one by one people can also come on the microphone, but that it will be very difficult. But yes, Manjula Singh is saying something.
Okay, I'll answer that, because that's everywhere on the internet, everywhere. It's a V-shaped curve. So V-shaped curve is, this is our economy and this is time. Our economy went down, and the moment lockdown and all was over, we boomed back. That's a V-shaped curve. Okay. Then there is a U-shaped curve. The economy went down and stayed down, and then started slowly and slowly coming up. That is another prediction for the future. And the third one is a L-shaped curve. It gone down and it's still down. God knows till when.
Okay. So, yes, few more. Yeah, I think there are more chats. Yeah. Okay. So now I request sir to just let me know, though you have talked about some of the challenges that you are facing, but I would like just to know some of the naughtiness which participants are doing, as though they are employees, but they must be doing what type of naughtiness they are doing, and how do you handle those naughtiness?
I saw there is a red button over here showing REC, so I'll limit my response.
Well, we are recording.
I know that. There is naughtiness is, I think, only accepted till the time, anything that you reinforce gets accepted. If you allow something to happen, it will happen. If you do not allow something to happen, it will not happen. It's as simple as that. But there are times when people, I won't call it naughtiness. I'll say that it's newness for them. They don't know. Yes, I mean, the other day I saw, somebody is chewing onto something. Somebody's, their kids are joining. The kids is surrounded by kids. They're also taking notes. So that is another very interesting. There are some people who have forgotten that their microphone is on, or they've forgotten that their video is on, and then they are talking, and then thoda bahut कभी-कभी गाली गलौज भी सुनाई देता है. So sometimes, those things, I'll say that I leave it. I don't address it. I only address the goodness part that we have to offer and keep on doing that only and only and only. In general, also I do that, and because energy flows where attention goes. So if you start, giving it too much of attention, there are then the whole energy of the session will go there only.
Okay. So, any more questions?
Oh, that's a very interesting thing which Srinivas Madhavanji has said, that L-shaped curve represents long-term recession. Yeah, it represents long-term. That's why I said I don't know when it will come back. So it will go down, it will remain straight.
Yeah. And we do a lot of effort, but the results are negative. Our progress.
Okay, that's a very interesting one, Manjula. I want to actually answer that, if I'm allowed.
Yeah, please do.
Our problem is students don't want to learn. We do a lot of effort, but the results are negative. This is one of the most interesting thing which I deal with. It's not only, Dr. Manjula, we are on the same boat. It's not only that students don't want to learn, even employees don't want to learn. Those students only end up becoming employees. So first of all, I've seen, there was a long time ago when I was a kid, I read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And there was a story in that Tom whitewashes the fence. You can go and actually see that story, and whitewash. He was a very naughty one. Naughty child.
We keep on quoting this in our classes. Tom whitewashes the fence.
Yeah, but what do you take out from that story?
What I take? Yeah. Yes, just to tell that if you want people to join you, or rather you want people to get motivated, you will have to post that whatever you're doing is interesting. That will bring you more benefits. Balance has to be added to your activity.
Oh, well, that's not what we take out.
You as a trainer will take out definitely more.
No, so the point here is that whatever you want in this world has to be converted into an offer. Okay. If you say you want, it won't work. Nobody's interested in what you want. So all I did was, he wanted the whitewashing, but he converted it into an offer like, tum mujhe apna apple de do, ya give me that ball to play with, and then I'll give you, this is a great opportunity to whitewash the fence. So what we are doing here, and as I wrote to Manjula ma'am, that 20% students are interested, I said 20% is a very high number. You see, we must also understand that it's actually a, first of all, either they have been forced to join MBA. I'm sorry, Dr. Monica, I'm being very open. But if they've been forced, they will never be interested. That is pakka. अगर उनके पापा मम्मी ने बोला हुआ है यहाँ जाओ तो इतना होगा, इतनी तनख्वाह मिलेगी, stuff like that. Second, I feel that there is a theory of critical mass. You need to start building, even if it's 1%, even if 20% people are there, if those 20% people are doing that interesting thing like Tom whitewash of the fence, what happens is we force that. Since we force that, if you go into adults learning principles by Malcolm Knowles, and today's kids are already quite adult. So if you go into adult learning principles, you realize that you cannot force anything on them. And when you don't force, they come all the way. Then they'll do everything. So that is one of the learning that I have with learners here in the, learners have in the corporate also. Initially, when I started the L&D department, it was like, people did not even know why we should learn. Everything is going fine. Chal to raha hai. Only chal raha hai. And as Himanshu ji says that only learners, that too fast learners will survive. Yeah, they say that only learners will survive. That doesn't mean people who are learning will survive. People who are learners. People who are learning today can stop tomorrow also. But people are, in fact, Dr. Monica said, jhagda hota rehta hai. I never want to come to any place where I'm called an expert or, ye wo august presence. I don't like it. I always go to places where I can learn. That's it. So learners are the people who will survive because they will have that learning skill at least. I mean, they'll be more agile. Okay. So that's what we do with our corporate people also. There are people who don't want to learn, but that's where the word WIFM comes. The WIIFM. The biggest word in today's world, the biggest word in the corporate, the biggest word in HR engagement, the biggest word in everything today is WIFM. And that's what people work for. I'm sure everybody knows the meaning of WIFM. And it's a very common word now. In case you don't know, it's what's in it for me. So what's in it for me? I mean, if somebody's what's in it for me is not clear, that person will not learn. That person will not do anything only. Forget about learn. That person will not learn in the class, not cook in the house, not wash utensils, not help his sister, not help his dad and mom. His VFIM is only not clear. That is why in a 2 session, almost 1 hour is spent only on VFIM, only on correlating that knowledge with their future. After that, of course, it depends on them whether they still don't want to learn. That's okay. But a 1 hour session is spent only on this, not what we do, but what they require.
Actually, sir, your experience are very valuable because we all are actually producing some of the products which will come to you only after some time.
I know.
Are people like people in the corporate. So your inputs were really very valuable, and especially with reference to this online trainings and teachings that we are going. What we are doing is only sharing experience. A few of us might have been doing such sessions on and off, but we were not doing online learning on a regular basis. So majority of faculties are facing issues and problems. They are learning again, unlearning it, and improving on their say skills and abilities, and adding on technology also to give the better and the best to their students. And I'm really so happy that the responses of the participants, they have been very good. They have been interactive here also, and a lot of participation has come for this FDP. They have been pressured on me to by many people to they wanted to join and learn. This is something very good that academicians are so open to learn. Even in this time, they are not taking it as a break or a holiday. They are trying to upgrade themselves in all the possible ways. So, and especially the inputs of the people that we have as a resource in this FDP, I think they will be enriching quite a lot. So any other question that the participants are having, we can have it, because the next round will be, I will be briefing a little more about the program, and then we will be having the next session. Yes, participants, any question? Okay. So they seems to be very satisfied. Your session was very interesting, and very new and interesting concepts have been shared. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Please keep on joining. We will be just completing some formalities regarding what we are going to have in our program, and then we will be heading towards the next section, that is panel discussion. Yes, sir. So you want to say?
Thanks, Kaplesh. Thanks, Kaplesh.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Welcome.
Like, I shall be leaving Dr. Monica now, and maybe
If you wish, you may leave. If you wish, you may leave. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm contactable through Dr. Monica. You can have my number. You can talk to me anytime. There's absolutely no issues.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was wonderful lecture. Wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Kiran. Thank you.
Thank you.
She is also one of our resource person for the program.
And today I have learned many things from Kaplesh ji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay.